So today we're going to be working on getting the build down. This is something I'm still debating on. I think this was basically the side deck I was running all weekend, though. Generally speaking here, like the 3 Droll, 2 Fusion Dupe, 3 Shadal Fusion, 3 Dark Ruler. Like, the side deck was great, honestly. All things considered, the side deck was pretty solid. I just think, like, running 60 card is really tough right now. I also think the extra deck worked out very well. I was running 2 Altharion, which worked out very well with the extended Dracotail package. You guys haven't, unless you're a channel member, you would know because you're in my members only classroom, but I've been very much on the bigger Dracotail variant. I took a pivot to that after the last deck profile in this last week because I had a lot of people who are very good at branded tell me I should be on that, so that's what I was doing, and I think they were right because of all the FTKs, so I think running the double Altharion's kind of mandatory in that sense, so, and that's why I'm also siding the Secretarion, because you still need it, but, like, I just need, I can't, like, dedicate half my extra deck to fucking Dracotail cards, you know, so that's just kind of, I still wanted to run the full branded package on top of a Garura, which is for the Super Poly, because Garura is so good into Mitsu, it clears the Mitsu board. It did win me a game against Mitsu, and you can, like, crash on, like, the Habakiri or something, and still, like, fucking, or whatever they end up summoning back out and then just get a draw. So it's just like great extension. I ran 1 Grand Guignol, that's fine. Borreload was great also. There was like multiple situations where like I made Borreload and just like played fair branded with Mirror Jade because they hand trapped me. I was never able to lock over the weekend except for once basically when I didn't get hand trapped. So it was very much one of those situations where like you know, I was having to play interactive branded, and that's why like I like the Dracotail cards, because it really adds to interactive branded. Like, you don't even have to lock ones if you like hit the Draco cards plus branded. You really don't. Like, there's just so much there that most decks can't play through it. But the lock is like, obviously if people are locking to win, the YCS locking is pretty good. I like, it's so crazy. It's just we're gonna get into the general YCS discussion in like what the format is, because I do want to make like a discussion video about that from the stream that we can upload to the channel to just talk about what is going on with Yu-Gi-Oh at the moment, because there's a lot of fast moving pieces at the moment between Genesis format and then the format getting solved already in a sense. I mean, shout out to yugioh, you know, like, people clown on him, but he literally made a tweet like 2 months ago saying like Mjolnir lock is the new puppet lock, and look at, like, it just took us 2 months to catch on. I mean, like, nothing was stopping people from doing this. I guess Noroi helped a lot, right? I guess that's the theory. I don't know. What's up, King Cuz? What's up, Paul Newer? What's up, Dequan? Raphael Pemberton took 60 card branded DT and went 7-2. His list seemed solid. Yeah, I liked his list. It was definitely, it was basically like, I liked it. I don't like, obviously, the hand. It's not that I don't like the hand trap branded Dracotail, because since the last time, it's kind of crazy. Branded Dracotail kind of took over. Like, we've been on branded Dracotail since day one, and now everyone's playing branded Dracotail. But they're playing the hand trap version, like, for the most part. Like I said, it's so funny going into a fucking branded Dracotail mirror when they have the same, like, heavy branded engine as me, because most people are running the hand traps with, like, 1 Albaz, 2 branded fusion, and maybe a Cartesia kind of thing, and nothing more, and that's not even that's, like, not even a branded deck, essentially. Like, it's just, like, using branded to extend into the Dracotail cards, essentially. It's like running Shadal Fusion. It's just a better Shadal Fusion in that deck at that point, with the light Dracotail, so there's like no point to run the Shadal variant now because of the light Dracotail. Also, we got a new Dracotail monster. I'm very excited about that, actually. A lot of people weren't hyped on it. It's an Ignition Shuffle 2. It's pretty good. Like, it's pretty good in my opinion. Like, there's a lot of times in this deck where I'd just like, I want a second push. So I could see myself cutting the 3rd Altharion for the new Dracotail name in this build. I think people are asking me, like, are you going to cut Dracotail with the new branded structure deck? I just don't see how I could. Like, with 3-5 mana, I need to play the game on my opponent's turn, right? Like, and Fuwalos is so insane with 5 mana, it's crazy. So yeah, I'm still pretty high on the Dracotail variant. I don't know how it's gonna fit in with the new trap. I'm doing some cooking, but we'll get there when it releases in like 3 weeks. It's like not even 3 weeks, it's like less than 3 weeks. Not the 60 card bricking. That's sad. I know, right? I definitely should have went with a 50 card build. I think 50 should be standard with branded right now. It's like either you run the hand trap build for branded Draco because it's good. I'm not saying it's bad. I just don't like that variant. I don't want to. The reason I play brand like that's it just doesn't feel like a branded deck, right? Like I can't do the maneuvering I can do with branded as I can with like the branded Dracotail hand trap variant. You can just like sort out these cards. I mean, at least I got my upgraded core, and then also I got my third Italian Super Poly QCR because if you guys notice, I was using a Starlight for some time because I sold one of mine when I was playing Mitsu and thought for some reason I didn't need Super Polys anymore. Like genuinely, it's kind of crazy. I didn't even respect Super Poly as recent as like Mitsu Raziel, like before the Habakiri. Yeah, I mean, you guys can basically see the deck list from here. It's like a lot of Super Poly. It's 60 card gas, like every 1 card starter you could have in branded with like, and then also 3 Fuelos, 2 Cartesia, I think, in this build. But I'm also still running the Gold Sark because they're still like 1 card starters. So, I still want to run them. And then also, this was the trap lineup. I decided to run the Horn and Flame because I went with the heavier Dracotail build. So like this worked out pretty well because just having like the Horn because like one game I had to just play Dracotail with like an Albaz, and having the Horn was insane in that situation. Actually, what's funny is I didn't even set the traps. Actually, I just had like I made like Altharion with like fine mana in hand with like Albaz, and then I think maybe I had the traps. I know I had something else. I had to have the 2 traps at that point. I think I did, and then like it was a really good board. Going back to 55 or 60, I mean, we're definitely going back to 50. Like, I'm not running over 50, I think, anymore. Would you replace Boral for Fallen Virtuous 6-3? What do you mean? Boral's in the extra deck. But I'm definitely consider running 3 quick play, but like, at 50, I'm not sure if I have to run 3 quick play, especially with the Drake. I think you run 3 quick play in pure. You run 3 of the Fallen and Virtuous in pure. Like, in Dracotail branded, it doesn't make a lot of sense because you have the Dracotail power spells already. Unless you're running like 60 card, and we already went over why we aren't running the 60 card build, right? So you're just the greatest player in the world, apparently. I'm curious to hear your thoughts about branded Dracotails and YCSs. They're basically Dracotail with a few branded cards. Yeah, I mean, I don't really love it, Andre. I mean, I'm not saying they're bad. I think they're really good, actually. But I also think it's just a Dracotail deck and still has the same issues as Dracotail, basically. I think branded Dracotail does add to the ceiling a lot. That's for sure. I just don't... You have to hard open the cards, right? Like, or you're just playing more ways to get to branded fusion. So like they're just like random bombs that you can have in your deck. It's like having like 2 Gold Sark and Malice and Master Duel. It's not like game breaking, but like definitely fucking helps, right? So I'm not like a huge fan, but honestly guys, like they're consistent, they're good. So like it's just like, what do you want to play, more of a branded deck or more of a Dracotail deck? And I do think with the FTKs on the loose, there is an argument that the hand trap branded deck is just better than a regular branded Dracotail. But that's if everyone starts FTKing, frankly. Because if everyone starts FTKing, like, sure. Then, yeah, you need to start running hand traps. But I also don't know if that's going to be the case. I also don't know if we might not get an emergency ban list at some point. I would hope so, but I doubt it. At this point, I highly doubt it. But like when Josh Schmidt's making a video on it, like I don't know. There's once again a lot of moving pieces right now with Genesis 2. Genesis qualifier was pretty cool over the weekend. I did not get to play a Genesis pod because I was just not prepared day 1 with the deck list. I need to order like separate cards, so I'm gonna wait for like the structure deck to come out and then use those extra cards to make my Genesis branded deck. Grass was good. I mean, there was one time Grass was bad because I only built 9, and that was, you guessed it, in the branded Dracotail mirror, which was something I was worried about, that if I'd play against a lot of other 60 card builds because of what Triff was doing. And that's also why I think Grass is not like ideal, I guess, in branded at the moment. So that is kind of where I'm at with Like, we're probably going to take out the grass, right? I guess we got to take out the 1-card starters, too. And, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I also wasn't running Thrust over the weekend, because I still think it's just, like, kind of slow right now, so I'm, like, siding Thrust. Like, I can break with, I can break every board with, like, Rahu branded Fusion, right? Like, barring, like, Ash Blossom Impulse, but, like, so, like, I feel like Fulos, like, Super Poly is just enough. And same with, like, just, like, having, like, Fulos Super Poly just in contention is just so insane. Maybe just take out the Called By as well. I don't know. These are just, like, all, and, like, maybe the Talents, but I still like the One of Talents to just draw off a Fua. So I was running a One of Talents in my deck still. And it was not, I never saw it because I was on 60. Brandon White was insane. The whole weekend Brandon White was insane. People were like reading this card and they're like, what does this do? This card is so good. I feel like this is so slept on and branded. It's just like, I cannot play branded without this card anymore, so I'm just not going to be cutting that. We're going to cut these guys. They're just, like, these were the consistency cards. I mean, I guess cut the, Thrust was not in the main deck, but, like, these, I love them. Maybe we can go back to them, but I feel like 50 card might just be consistent enough. Maybe even 45 card would be consistent enough, because I've been running 60 card in Genesis format branded. I've been running 40 cards, so I think 40 card could definitely work. First stream I catch live, you brought me into branded. David Gruber, now I'm running a branded Dracotail, small Dracotail package, 60 card. I can't get past going 2-2 at locals, still learning but loving it. I mean, I'd go to 50 cards then, right? Like, I'd try out a 50 card variant. I'd try out whatever list we end up settling on here, because we're going to go to 50 cards. Maybe I could just take out Talents at this point, but I don't know if I'd want to do that. Talents is just so insane. I do feel like Fua is required, for sure. I do feel like Fua is required right now. It just is the only thing that's stopping you from getting, like, Omega shit on. But, like, also they can still just, like, FTK you through that. Or not FTK you, they can still lock you through that. So it is kind of one of those things where, like, Bestials help for sure. Like, having a Bestial for the artifact, I'm pretty sure is pretty good, right? So we can probably max on that. It just seems like Bestials are insane right now. Low-key. But yeah, no, speaking of FTK format, is turn 0 Lad the best play? Oh, definitely not turn 0. Soma bot. Pack has only play 1 Albaz, 2 branded. I mean, yeah, that's the version I'm talking about, though, where it's just like, it's barely even branded. It's basically just Dracotail with a small branded package, right? And that's just not how I like playing the deck personally. I just, obviously, the hand trap variant's been very successful lately, so there's no knocks on that. It's just a different kind of deck. Let me get out my Dracotail pack. Could probably just cut the Tragedy then, too, as well, because I'm not running Foolish. I still want to run Mercurier, and like I mentioned before, I still think, like, the Bestials are kind of... I think Magnamut's definitely needed right now. Like, definitely think Magnamut's needed. 2 Shrouded might be also able to be cut. We'll see where we are at on the deck count. 2 Albaz has still been pretty good. 1 Quem. I only missed the second one once, and I think I still won the set. So, I don't know if I lost the one game because of it, but it didn't affect me enough to, like, remember and, like, be like, oh, I need to change this. So I don't think it was too bad. Still think Ido is, I mean, I don't know. There was one game where I broke a full DDD board. I broke a full DDD board with literally just Rahu branded Fusion and then just, like, branded and Dracotail extenders. Broke the full board. Like, he did, and he had Mitsurugi on top of it for some reason. Broke the whole board. Couldn't OTK him. Forgot to send Ido. I had to play to go Lubellion, send Albaz Ido, fuse back, make Sanctifier, basically. Like, why, like, that's why Ido feels so insane, because you can just, this is how you win going second. It feels like more of a going second card for me right now, because you can break all the boards in the game with this deck, which is why I like the heavier branded package, but you usually can't, like, stop the follow-up. So, like, Ido is the way you stop the follow-up. So, like, this card would have been insane for me this weekend if I won that game, but we double lost to ourselves because I didn't send the Ido. God, I love double lossing. That was my first double loss also. That was during the giant card. It sucked because it's single elimination. Like, I don't know why there's double lossing in single elim, but whatever. This was the Dracotail package. Ended up running a horn or a pan. It was okay. The Frixel was pretty good. Lucius was really just like meaningless, but I feel like it still needs to be there depending on your hand. 3-5 mana was like really whatever, but in theory it's pretty good, so I feel like I still want to keep this package and then just see where we are at. We're at 54. We're just gonna go card by card and then just see what we can cut. I feel like this package is pretty standard, right? We're gonna put in like, we're gonna put cards in categories that we can cut, basically. I do think the Shrouded is, while it's nice, I do think I can cut too, like for sure. Like, it's not required in the branded variant. Then just running this. Yeah, this is like a pretty thin package, but I do think this is probably the play, and that brings us down to 52. Also, Saronir could go to 3, but that's gonna be like, we'll get there when we get there. That's more of like a fine-tuning thing. Fuelos, like I mentioned, I think this card's insane right now, so especially in tandem with the 3-5 mana. And, you know, just running the extended Dracotail package, I don't feel a need to really cut any of these because they all just help. They're all very good. Maybe, like, the Malulu could go to 1, or maybe I could cut a Pan. Perhaps a Lucius, but, like, if I do that, then 5 mana gets worse, right? But obviously, we still need to play through hand trap, so that's why I do have, like, the Ido in the deck. Malulu to 1 definitely could be the Malulu to 1 EPA, because I already run, like, I don't love Malulu at 3 in this build, because I already have 3 Aluber to Cartesia, right? Like, I don't love expounding on my normal summons, but it's also just, like, another name that's good that's also an extender. Like, normal summon Malulu was insane for me over the weekend. I will say, normal summon Malulu was very good. This is probably your best normal summon, honestly, in the deck. Funny enough. Like, if you have, like, opening, like, if you have a way to Branded Fusion already that doesn't require your normal summon, the fact you can just go normal Malulu, like, force their board is crazy, in my opinion. So, like, now you might be like, should you cut Alubers then? I'm like, no, this is my other best like, this thing's my best normal summon. Like, low-key, this is still my best normal summon. But this thing is, like, goated, too, so. Then also just, like, having more names for Cartesia. It's pretty nice. Like, there was a lot of times where I'd just go, like, Fusion Dupe Cartesia and have, like, Malulu plus, whatever in hand and just, like, fuse them off to, like, break, to play the game in certain situations. Or just, like, leaving my unboard like that. If I don't have names to fuse with 5 mana, what's the point of 3-5 mana? Right? Like, if I just put Malulu to 1, I should just put 5 mana to 1 at that point, honestly. You might be like, oh, you have other cards to fuse off 5 mana. I don't want to fuse off Albaz and Shrouded Dragon with 5 mana. I know, like, some people want to do that. I don't want to do that, personally speaking. I want to fuse, like, a Dracotail name off with 5 mana. And now you might be like, oh, where's the I mean, Tragedy would be good in those situations, but it's still just like a brick. And I was like talking to Marat about this. Shout out to Marat, just one of the branded goats. Who's very good at simplifying branded. Like, I remember when I saw his deck list from Nats 2024 when he topped 16 Nats with branded, and like one of the hardest formats for branded ever. He just ran like a 50 card allure build that was very standard, but he played well, right? Like, so I don't know if we really have to like overthink it. I think we just have to play like a consistent build that allows us to play going second, honestly. I think I'm gonna side the thrust though. Like, there is no way I'm not like siding 3 thrust though. That's like definitely what I was going with. Like, I'm not playing branded without thrust. I think I'm gonna like side 2 actually, but like, I just think in the main deck, thrust can be a big liability this format. Does that make sense? Tragedy is a break? Yeah, that's why I cut it. I would do Malulu to 1. I run 3 Fimina, 2 Lucius, and one of the all the other monsters. Interesting. I mean... Yeah, I mean, you run the 2 Lucius, so maybe I would just cut 1 Malulu, perhaps. I think 1 Malulu wouldn't be terrible. It's either that or Pan. I just, like... I don't know why I would cut Malulu before Pan. That's my issue. Like, I think I would cut this before Malulu, and this takes away from my board breaking. Like, Pan is actually low-key really good for OTKs in this deck because it just, like, clears a body that you just, like, don't have to attack over at that point. And under loss, this card's crazy, right? So, like, maybe it is just 1 Malulu. Because I'm going to be at 50 and it's going to be consistent enough, right? Yeah, I mean, everyone's suggesting take out 1 Malulu, so I'll take out 1 Malulu, and that does bring us to 51, I believe. So... we are done with the main deck. I mean, I think all these cards are required in the main deck for the most part, so I don't want to cut any of them if I'm running... Like, if I cut Kit, if I cut, like, Mercurier, I'm just, like, taking away from my lines for, that I board break with, or, like, Lubellion. Like, I still just have, like, the full branded package in order to still break boards, like, as long as I want. And, guys, like I said, I literally broke a full DDD board. People have called that board in FTK, like... Branded Branded Draco can just break that shit. I don't know if pure Branded would have broken that, but, like, Branded Draco certainly did. Like, I don't know, there's just, like, a high you get when you, like, break a, like, 12 plus negate board with Branded Draco. Like, consistently. So, yeah, these are required. 1 Ketsu. I don't really like 3 Ketsu. I know people might, like, debate me on that, but I really, like, I want to play Branded, not Dracotail. So this is just, like, 1 was just fine for me over the weekend. The High Spirits would be the other thing, maybe. Like, maybe I could put High Spirits to 2. I just feel like High Spirits lets me play through hand traps. So maybe I just put High Spirits to 2, and then we're at 50. And you might be like, oh, this is like, this seems inconsistent. Or like, you can't break boards with this. And it's like, hell yeah, I can. We can do some test hands and just see. Rather have good High Spirits target that can play through the Droll more normals. That's why I don't want to cut High Spirits. I feel like High Spirits is like maybe I could just like put the Malulu to 1 and then put High Spirits to 3. But also when I'm not running Saronir or Shrouded at 3, I feel like High Spirits gets way worse. Well, also, I'm not gonna lie, some of these hands start getting kind of like... I'm only playing through, like, 2 hand traps at most, which I don't like. Like, running the Thrust, the Fusion Dupe, like... Like, we can still consider, like, these cards, though, and, like, have them here. I'm definitely siding Droll as well. Like, I think Droll, like, belongs in every, like, main or sideboard at this point. Like, I think, like, Talents... is a card I want in the deck. Called By is a card I want in the deck. Frankly, I feel like Called By is still very versatile. And also it's just like really good into the hand traps. So these are 2 cards I'd like in the deck. Maybe Talents could go, but I don't know. Talents is just like a game-winning card. So if I have more game-winning cards in my deck, I think I'm doing pretty good. Lucius is probably the best cut. Definitely depends on the hands. I mean, Lucius literally has not come up for me once. Especially with Ketsu at 1, I think it's, like, fine. Because, like, I'm leaning on Malulu more, right? But also I want Malulu at 3 if I'm cutting. So, 20, 30, 35, 40, 45, 51. I mean, like, maybe, I don't know, I just feel like Called By, like, Talents, these are cards that just, like, win games. So if I have a higher propensity of cards that just, like, win games, I'm doing pretty good, kind of thing. I mean, I could just, like, run it like this at 51 and just, like, you know, 51's 51. Alright. So, oh yeah, the extra deck. I guess we're gonna do the deck profile here, guys, so... this is gonna be for YouTube as well, because I did want to update them with my post YCS Anaheim list. The Shadal package was insane, by the way. Shadal package, like, if you're running the Dracotail build, like, with Branded, I just don't see why you wouldn't side Shadal fusions. It's just more Branded fusion, right? Or, like, more Rahu, rather. So, yeah, this looks about right. Although, The 3 Dark Ruler is fine. 2 Fusion Dupe. I mean, if anything, Thrust. Yeah, I have to side Thrust if anything. I have to find my other... Or, like, Called By if anything. Like, what would you guys cut in this for a Thrust? Like, would it just be... Or for 2 Thrusts in this side deck? You guys let me know. It's tough, right? Like, should all Fusion... Like, these all feel mandatory, right? It'd be like maybe maining the Garura or something. 1 dupe, 1 dark ruler, no more. Yeah, maybe that. Maybe the 1 evenly too. I just feel like I'd like having the option for evenly off a thrust. That's why it's there. Trying to find... Oh, here's... Oh, I can put back in my nice one. Yeah, here's another thrust. Here's my other Grand Guignol. Here's my other thrust. I guess I should take out all these options anyway. Should just have all these anyway over here. Boy, I feel wet. Also, shout out to Dogmatica System. I was gonna run this with Tearlam and Shiren for a way to out Lunalight, but then no one was on Lunalight. So, like, yeah, I'm glad I didn't run it. I also have my Ecclesia ready for Stigmata and Friends. I mean, it could be 3 thrusts. I feel like 3 thrusts might be a little bit much, but I just don't know what. And also, Fusion Dupe feels like the freest card through hand traps going first. I won't lie. Like, this card I did miss running 3 of. I'm not gonna lie. I do think I probably lost some game 1s just not having 3 copies of this card in my deck. Or my side deck. Like, drolling yourself in this deck is pretty good. So that's why I like Droll going first as well. Under Fua. You can just droll yourself so you don't die to Fua. I've been siding this in, actually. Most of the time going first for Fualos. Yeah, I guess we just take out the evenly. I already have enough back row removal through the Shadal stuff. I think I'm fine. It's not like there's like a ton of just like continuous. There's like no continuous. I love her all. Are your thoughts on Azamina package and Pure Branded at the moment? I think it's okay. I mean, I think it gets way better, way better once the new Dark Magician fusion comes out. Because then you get a free Omni Negate on top of your Azamina package. So, yeah, what's the last card I cut in here, guys? I think it's just 1 Dark Ruler, I guess, but I don't know. I feel like Dark Ruler is still, like, the only thing that's, like, deciding some games sometimes. I guess it's just a Fusion Dupe. And then just, like, I have the Thrust anyway. Like, I don't want to have too many. Like, I'm not siding in, like, 2 Thrust, 3 Fusion Dupe. I mean, I could. Second MJ is way more important, in my opinion. Lost way too many times. I might cut Lock. Feel like you would want to search Merc off a loss in a real game to better play around Nib. I mean, I'm never afraid of Nib, though, in Branded. Like, if you're going to Nib me at that point, like, you're quite literally just clearing my Gulamel and then, like, making it so I have to loop my Mirror Jade. Like, it's not that bad. But I do agree, like, it's not bad in this case. For decks who can spend on non-engine, what do you think hand traps or breakers are better in Genesis? I mean, it's definitely hand traps, Kyle B, for sure. Like, I think if you have the points to spend, you're spending them on hand traps or, like, just, like, Pot of Greed or stuff like that, right? To make your deck just better. I do appreciate the Genesis questions. I really do love Genesis, so I'll take any on all Genesis questions. Branded best deck, says Zay. What hand traps do you play in this build, says Rare Hunter? So we are on 3 Fualos, 3 Fimena. So those are 6 hand traps in, like, a 50 card build. And then also 1 Magnamut, 1 Saronir. I do feel like Magnamut's just such a powerhouse right now. And Saronir's good. I just, like, it's not the best card in this build. So, like, it's at 1 at the moment. Like, I don't think a Saronir's ever saving me. I mean, I guess it could stop the Ouroboros loop. So that is something to consider. Like, I'm just trying to keep it under 50. That will be something I mention, I guess, in the video, because I think that we need to, like, still consider the fact that Mjolnir Lock is out there. So, like, what if we put in, like, the extra Saronir? Like, this gives us a better matchup into all those, right? Because then Saronir, like, we're probably just gonna be seeing either a Bestial Fualos or, like, one of the Fimenas, right? Is this 50 or 60? It's 50. Whoever makes the side patterns easiest. Yeah, I mean, side patterns are pretty... Yeah, those are something you always have to consider, right? Also, like, how do you guys feel about Saronir? Like, in the face of Ouroboros Loop and Mjolnir Lock, Do you think Sarnier is just mandatory? Because, right, like, because this stops both of them, right? So I almost feel like I should be maining 3. Like, we did talk about that at the beginning of the stream, but maybe I just go 54 and just say fuck it. I don't know. It's just not 60, right? Like, we're just playing not 60 branded. I think that's, like, the important part. We'll do a final count and just go from there. I still think Fulos is so good in branded, though, because in Master Duel, it's a little different because Max C is just a thing, but, like, a lot of the decks just play into Fulos at the moment. I think Master Duel is starting to become like that, finally, with the new decks. So, like, Fulos is really good because it forces your opponent to end on a half board, which is really solid. Because it just, like, as you know, Stigmata, if your opponent ends on a half board, Branded just cuts through it like butter, right? So that's why I think Fulos is so strong, because it's a high spirits bridge, it's like a decent discard, but most importantly, it gets you card advantage, and it makes your opponent's board weaker. Like, this is like a 3-in-1 hand trap, honestly. It's unfortunately not a light or dark, but, like, it's a winged beast, so it's actually a pretty solid high spirits bridge. And we don't have Maxi over here, so it's just, like, our next best thing. I still like the Mercurier off of Lost. It still makes our end boards way better. The one Cartesia does feel a little odd, but, like, I think it's fine, mostly. Like, that is something I could possibly go back on, but I think overall it is one of those things that will be fine. Yeah, Rift? I can't do the 2 Sarnier. Yeah. I like, if anything, like, we, like, side them. Like, maybe it's, like, 2 high spirits or something. It's, like, really tough, dude. It's, like, really tough. Like, high spirits is one of those cards that's just so good in branded and, like, breaking up these builds. Also could be Malulu. Maybe we just take one of each and, like, split the difference, literally. Like, I think this is, like, a good compromise. It's, like, not the best of any of the worlds, but it is sufficient. And that leaves us at 51. So, maybe add the Druid Swarm as well. That's also the thing with, like, they're just gonna go for it against our deck if we don't have it is the issue. Like, that is a huge issue for us right now. So maybe I'd just go 52 anyway. Yeah, I think I'd just do 52. It's just, like, really tough because I want to give a clean, consistent build for the deck. Just, like, how are we supposed to do that without just, like, cutting important pieces that we actually do need through hand traps, for instance. Like, I don't want to cut any more high spirits, that's for sure. Like, maybe it's just, like, Malulu, but yeah, like, we already cut, like, one, like, you guys see where I cut, like, the Shroud of the Cartesia. We could even cut Kit, but, like, this, like, makes it makes some things worse. We could cut Kit. That doesn't sound like an insane idea. Like, it really doesn't. Hey everyone, I'm new to Branded. Any suggestions? I go my how to play Branded playlist. That would definitely help. If you're playing 3 spirits, 3 star Mirror, I feel like is a must. Yeah, exactly. Also that. Also, I just feel like for this format, 3 star Near feels like a must. It's just like the lock. Like, it's one of the best stops to the lock. Like, most of the decks in this at YCS Anaheim couldn't do anything about it because they just didn't have an out. Yeah, I guess we just do that and then remove the kit. I know this sounds weird. It's just like, you don't need kit for the most part. Like, you do like kit, but if we're playing like 3 Malulu, like, we're already like, that's also the thing though, because that one line was like, you needed kit for that, but also the kit lines are so you're just gonna get hand trapped on that kind of line. Like, if you are already not getting hand trapped on that line, you should probably already be winning that game, kind of thing. But then at that point, it's like, Jesus. I kind of just want to cut the talents, to be honest. Like, the talents does feel a little like maybe we just, like, side the talents with the package here. Yeah, that sounds pretty deep. Just so I can, like, start getting this deck down to where it needs to be. 50 cards, right? Like, we are currently at 51, I believe. So we're almost there, and yeah, we're just at 51. We're gonna just take at 51. I think at 51 it's, like, totally fine. And then what? Secretarion. How did I already shuffle this up? That's so crazy. You guys saw me already, like, organize it, and then I shuffled it again. I do feel you with the double Jade, EPA. It just, like, maybe it comes up more than the Borreload, frankly. Maybe, yeah, that could be a thing. Like, that was a lot in my testing was the second Jade, so I should probably, like, lean on that testing a little bit. Even, like, Borreload came up enough, but also I could have just made it Jade. But also it's a really good into spells and traps. I don't know, like, it really is pretty good into spells and traps, the Borreload. And when I'm running 2 Altharion, I can, in theory, just spin back the 1 Jade, is my whole thing. So, I get what you mean, like, you can lose to not having the second Jade, but, like, if I'm playing the branded Draco version, I'm, like, not particularly ever putting myself in the situation where I need the second Jade. But with Secretarion, we can also spin back the Chaos Star Source. So yeah, we might as well just, like, try that out, because I do think just having, like, from my testing before the YCS, like, you guys know if you watch those streams, the second Jade was pretty nice, or I was, like, pretty high on the second Jade. And Borreload, it did come up, like, once or twice at the YCS, but I'm, like, thinking about it now, and those weren't, like, situations where I could have just made the second Jade, right? Like, just spin back my first Jade and make a second Jade kind of thing. Like, that line works. I just need to get a second Starlight Jade. I don't know why I haven't yet. I'm really, like, I should have done that at the YCS. I also wasn't particularly keen on spending, like, $300 on something, but yeah. I just don't run second Jade enough to ever, like, really justify it. Although my branded builds might just get better if I start, like, consistently running the double Jade, because it does help with board breaking and all that fun stuff. Why is this so, like, dark? That's my only issue with, like... Alright, so we're gonna do this now. Give me one... Next big tournament will be full locking. Also, how do we out Proto? Super Poly? I mean, you just play around the lock. Like, if they call dark, you just, like, make Sanctifier and lock them. And you, Chaos Star Source their board. Chaos Star Source is a light. If they call dark, it's a bit harder. But you still, or sorry, if they call light, it's a little bit harder, but... Or, I mean, then you just have the Jade, right? And also, like, the Dracotail cards help, right? Triple Luber feels like too many normals. But Lulu and Car are usually better normal summons since they don't full lose to Imperm. That's fair. I just, like, I don't know. A Luber just still feels like the best normal summon in the deck. Like, if I'm going normal summon Malulu or normal summon Cartesia, my ceiling's already cut in half compared to normal summon a Luber. Unless I have, like, other cards to go with them. But I do get what you mean. I do like how Cartesia and, like, Malulu don't just, like, lose to Imperm on that respect. But I'm also, like, on 2 Albaz. Like, I'm not, like... I don't know. I have, like, tested back and forth. I just don't like one Aluber. If I was running one Aluber, I'd go to, like, 3 Lucius. So I know I like the 3 Aluber in this situation, for sure. Although the 3rd High Spirit might just make this build, like, way better, to be honest, the more I think about it. It's just, like, the kit is, like... I mean, I think cutting the kit was kind of smart, because it just, like, it's another normal summon, essentially, a lot of the time. So, it at least, like, gets down on the normal summons. Like, I've already cut one of the Cartesias, like... And, like, we've gone over the theory with Malulu. I mean, we have the 3 Malulu, right? So that's fine. I just, like... Cartesia, like, if I add in a Cartesia, I'd have to, like, cut an Aluber at that point, right? Or, like, one of the things. Chaos Dragon or Borreload. I mean, Chaos is definitely better, but Borreload Furious is still, like, a very good card to run in Branded. Bystials out Mjolnir, you know. Yeah, exactly. Like, they go Kankiri, like, to summon, and then you just chain Saronir. So that's why I think the Bystials are very much required at the moment. I just don't think it would be worth it to run this. Like, I think between the 3 Fimina, 3 Fuelos, 3 Saronir, and 1 Magnuma and 50 cards, you will see an out to Mjolnir, right? Like, you will see an out to Mjolnir. It's, like, not guaranteed, but, like, you will likely see one. I do hear what you're saying, Zay, and I do appreciate, like, the input. I appreciate the input from everybody, frankly, because it helps a lot. You know, this is, like, always a group project with Branded, honestly, so I do appreciate everyone's contribution, even if I don't, like, take your advice. Don't mean it, I didn't consider it, and, like, I don't respect it, right? Like, maybe I'll be like, after this stream, like, oh yeah, you know what, Zay was actually right on that, I'm gonna try this out later, because I just need to test it more, right? Before the structure deck, pure branded Despia, what about it? I wouldn't run pure branded before the structure deck, but if you're like a god tier, like, if you're like god tier like Annie and can win a regional with it anyways, like, you should do it. I think pure branded's like fine, but it's like really tough when it's not just like a secluded meta like it was last format before the ban list. Like I think Annie went against like 4 VSK9 and like 3 Yummy, right? Like she knew what she was going against because everyone was only playing the 3 Justice Hunter decks. Have you seen Pac's new branded Dracotail vid from 7 hours ago? I saw a little bit of it, but it's not like the actual branded Dracotail list I like. He's also not playing Mirror Jade, which I'm not a big fan of, but like obviously that's the hand trap build. He's also not playing the Spirit with Eyes of Blue, which I don't agree with because it gives you a Sanctifier lock in that version, and it's like, okay, if you're not making Mirror Jade and you're always making Sanctifier off your branded fusion, then why don't we run the lock? Like, I guess branded fusion also, like, that's a turn 3 lock, right? Like, it's for sure a turn 3 lock, but it's still there to shut out games, which was a nice part about that build, in my opinion. That you just had, like, a lock in the extra deck, and not running it, to me, just feels weird. I mean, he's right about the Titaniclad and stuff, right? But, like, you need an out for Lunalite. That's why, like, branded already